My name is Pop, and I'm going to be showing you today how you can change a tire. It's a pretty easy thing to do, but there is one special tool that you need. Now, I have this tool that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to give you a close-up on it. And see, this is all that we need on this tool, is this one end here that has these two little things to it, because we're going to need that in order to take the valve out of the tire. The valve is what keeps the air in the tire, and when you need more air in the tire, it has to go through the valve. So we have to take the valve out of the way so the air can come out in order to change the tire. Now this tire is pretty well worn. You can see the threads coming through the tire. All the rubber is gone from the tire. So we want to change the tire and give a safer, brand new tire for this bike. Now, when you go to take off the tire, this person took off the nuts that were holding the wheel on the bike. You don't have to take them off usually. You can just loosen them and slip the tire off the bike. If you have hand brakes on your bike, you may need to do this step before you take the wheel off of the bike. You may need to let the air out first. But I'm going to take this tool, I'm going to stick it inside the valve of the bicycle tire, and I'm going to turn it. Now, there's a saying that goes lefty loosey, righty tighty. So I'm going to turn it towards the left. You can hear the air start to come out. And I have to push down a little bit because there's a little spring on that valve. Push down a little bit and spin it lefty loosey. Sometimes you can get a dust cap. These are called dust caps. You can get a dust cap that will have on the dust cap that end that you can use to take the valve out. This end right there. So now the air is out. The tire is nice and squishy. So I'm going to squish it all around the sides. All right. You see now. The one mistake you don't want to make if you're just changing the tire is you don't want to poke a hole in the tube. Inside the tire, there's a tube. This valve takes the air to the tube. If you cut the tube, then you have to either patch the tube or replace the tube. So I'm going to be careful not to pinch that tube, not to break that tube. This is what that valve looks like that I just took out of the tube. Now, if you're strong enough, you might be able to pull this tire hard enough and just work your fingers around until you get the tire off halfway. Then you can reach inside, push this valve out of the way, and take the whole tube out of the tire. And then I'm going to peel the tire off of the rim. Pretty easy, don't you think? Now I'm going to set the rim on top of this tire, and I'm going to get the rim into one side. Again, I can just use my fingers. I don't need any special tools. If you have a screwdriver and you want to use a screwdriver to get it in there, you can do that. But I think if you're strong enough, you can just get it in there. But I'll show you what to do if you have to use a screwdriver. Just take your screwdriver, go under the rim, and peel it up like that, and work your way around the tire. Boom. It took me 2 times, and I have the tire inside of the rim. My next step is to put the tube back inside the tire, like that. I'm gonna have to squeeze it down. You can see where the hole is there, where the valve stem. I'm gonna put the valve stem through there, pull it out, make sure it's snug. Now I'm going to just go around and tuck that tube in there. Now the tube is inside of the tire. Now the only step I have to do yet is get the tire back inside the rim for the second side of the tire. Again, I'm just using my hands, working my way around the tire. And eventually you'll get to a point where this time you will have to use some kind of a tool. But you can see I only have that much to go to use a tool. Again, very carefully, you don't want to pinch that tube, or you could very well poke a hole in it. I'm going to take the screwdriver one time, and I have the tube back, the tire back inside the rim, and the tube is safe. I didn't pinch the tube at all. When I blow it up again, it should be able to hold air. Next, I'm going to take the valve stem. It has two ends. This is the end that's springy. You can see it moving down the bottom there. And the springy end, the tall end, goes outside. And the rest of it goes inside the valve stem. I'll use my tool, that end again. I'm going to get a hold of the valve, and I'm going to spin it lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. This time I'm going to tighten it. So I'm going to turn it towards the right. Nice and tight. All I have to do is put it back on the bike. Now, if you have the kind of bike that has handbrakes, you want to put this tire back on the bike before you put air in the tire, because you have to get past the handbrakes and you have to squeeze the tire to get it past the handbrakes. If you have the kind of bike that doesn't have handbrakes, you can put the tire on the bike without with air in the tire already. So that's really all it is. Don't forget, when you're done putting air in your tire, you want to put your dust cap back on the valve stem, and you're ready to go for a ride. That's all from now from Pop. Hope you have a good day.